Okay,
This meeting
there we
is
go.
being recorded.
There we go.
Hello. Hi, Kyrstina.
Hi.
Thank you for joining me today. So,
Yes.
while we're here, we want to hear your HD story.
Yes, always. Okay,
So,
so my name,
if you like, go ahead.
Okay, my name is Kyrstina, and I am 32 years old, and I have Huntington's. I have a CAG of 48, and then I got it from my dad. He had a CAG of 47, and then his grandma also had Huntington's, and she had, I don't know what hers was. But my dad's definitely, he had more of the movement and stuff like that, but he had a lot of chorea and stuff like that, but his mind was totally fine. Like he worked so often, so long, he was so independent. He did not like that they told him he could not work. So one of his friends got him, like, he worked, like, had owned a bank, like, right down the street from us, so he could just ride his bike to work. So he let him work under the table and stuff like that so that he could still work, because he just hated not working. And I mean, he was so independent. He did not want hospice. He did not want anything, like, at all. He did not want the nursing home. He was just like, I can do it by myself. But he worked at the bank for a long time, a couple of years, but it was so scary him riding a bike across the street. Seriously, all my friends would call me, Kyrstina, your dad's out on the bike again. He's getting hurt. He fell, something. I'd always have to rush over there and go get him and stuff like that. And then he was in the nursing home for 4 or 5 years before he passed away. But it was kind of sweet the way he passed away. So we all visited random, like, I would visit, my grandma would visit, and then my aunt would visit and stuff like that, but we never really did it together and stuff like that. But like one time we all came down there, like all 5, 6 of us in his room, and like he loved it. I've never seen him smile so much. And I mean, he was trying to talk and stuff like that, and he was just like so happy. And the next day he passed away, and he said he was going home. He finally was at peace and he wanted to go home. Just super sweet. I loved it. It was like, if it was gonna go, I at least wanted to be at peace and stuff like that. He loved the nursing home though, because they had bingo and stuff like that. And he always, every time I went down there to visit, he's like, I got one, you stuffed animals. He's like, your stuffed animals, Kyrstina. I'd have like a giant stack of stuffed animals for me and Michael. It was so funny. He loved it. He loved everything. He was such a happy, nice, like, going person. And my uncle was the total opposite. He was like hearing, like, he had hallucinations really bad. Like, he definitely would, like, he would say stuff like that he told his wife of like 20 years that he wanted to divorce her because God told him to, and that God told him he had to go live in a tent in the backyard. So it's kind of crazy. Like, he literally lived in a tent in the backyard of his house for a long time. And I mean, it was so bad. And they lived together at one point, him and my dad, so that the hospice could come there and take care of him together, so that they didn't have to do it separately and stuff like that. So they definitely lived together at one point. And my uncle Eddie, one of my grandma's son, definitely took care of him and stuff like that. He lived in the house with them for a while, because I could not, because I had Michael and stuff, and I was still going to school and stuff, which I felt really bad about. I still feel really bad about it, not being there more. But his nursing home was like 3 hours away, because none of the nursing homes actually have Huntington's for them, like Huntington's patients. Like, a lot of them don't accept them, except for the ones that are super far away and stuff like that. And then, but so far everybody is.
How old were you when he passed away?
It was 2013, so I was like 20 or 21. I was pretty young. But he, it it was just sad. It's a sad thing, but you know, I feel like they'll be with us. Everybody passed away, you know. Everybody will be with us in the end. And then so me and my brother both have Huntington's. So I have a lot of the cognitive symptoms right now. I had a lot of the movement and stuff like that, but I'm on medicine right now, the Rispinidol, and it definitely helps with that and stuff like that. And then I the cognitive stuff though is super bad. Like my thinking, like I can't really think. I don't really like um it's hard to like concentrate and remember like what I'm gonna say next and stuff like that. And then it's hard to remember stuff, and like when I'm crocheting and stuff like that, it's hard to like remember to count and stuff like that. And I have to like constantly count and recount and recount and recount, make sure it's right. And then I have to and then so my memory and that, and then I also have really bad like can't think of the word, depression and anxiety and stuff like that. um I'm on medicine for it, but it really doesn't work out well. um I need to talk to the doctor about it, but I mean it'll be okay. But I feel like it just gets bad when I'm like out in public. Like I get super overwhelmed and overstimulated and stuff like that. And I feel like everybody's staring at me and I don't like it. And I just wish everybody would stop for a minute, you know, and stop staring at me. So I don't like going out like at all. Like it makes me super paranoid. And
So you have social anxiety, you would say?
I think that is, well, except for people that I know. Like, because a lot of my friends and stuff like that, like, we still hang out all the time. Like, I'll go out with them to their house, stuff like that. But I just don't like meeting new people. That's where it's like, I don't know. So I don't know. I guess it just depends on the person.
And do
But
you have suicidal thoughts ever, or thoughts of dying, or no? Just depression?
yeah, I do. Um, Sometimes it's bad, but I have a son. He's 14, and if it wasn't for him, it would be a lot worse, because I definitely am like, if I could never leave him, you know, like I could never do that. But it's definitely, he helps bring me up and stuff like that and helps keep me going. Um yeah, sorry. My wife just woke up. But so, and then my brother has juvenile Huntington's, and his CAG is like 62, 63. And he got diagnosed when he was like he got diagnosed when he was like 20, 21. But we knew he had it from when he was like 15, 16. But my mom didn't want to get him tested because she was super paranoid about it. And she was like, she was in such denial and stuff like that, you know. She did not want to believe it. That when I told her, she's like, no, it's not what it is. It's Christopher being Christopher. And I'm like, definitely not Christopher being Christopher. Like, he's definitely different. Like, because he would like tap his fingers on like he was like, I can't help it. I just have to drum. I can't help it. I just have to drum on things. And like he would just like stumble and fall all the time and choke and all kinds of stuff. Um, but now he went to the doctor for the first time in like ever, and he's on some medicine now. So hopefully that'll help him be better, because he needs something. He is so bad. Like he can't eat, he can't talk, he can't walk. Like I mean, like everything is so hard for him. And then he'll get physical therapy for his choking and stuff like that from the doctor, and he's gonna get medicine, and then they're talking about getting him Ostedo. and stuff like that. So hopefully that'll definitely help him. And then I also have choking and stuff like that. I choke on everything. I choke on like water, anything. Like I just start choking, and it's bad. Like Michelle's like, "Are you okay?" all the time. Michael comes in here from his bedroom through his headphones and stuff, and he's like, "Mom, are you okay?" I'm like, "I'm fine. I'm fine." And he seriously will like, and when I fall and stuff like that, he'll hear it and he'll come in here, even if it's the middle of the night and he's sleeping or something, he'll come right out here. "Are you okay? Are you okay?" Like, I love you. He's so sweet. And he, for a while, like when I couldn't cook stuff on the stove, he would like ask me, be like, "So, Mom, do you want me to cook? Do you want me to cook spaghetti? Like I can learn how to cook and I'll start cooking dinner for everybody." And I was like, "Yes, I do." Now I cook in the Instapot though. It's a lot easier to just throw everything in one pot and let it cook and put the lid on, and I don't have to worry about it. That's the only way I can cook. Because on the stove, it's so bad. Like, I seriously burnt noodles the other day. It was so bad. I was like, they're noodles. It was spaghetti. I've never in my life, and you know how many times I've cooked spaghetti? Like every week, at least once a week. And it was so bad. And I can't, like, I burn myself in the hands, on my hands in the stove and stuff like that. Because I'll go to reach something out of stove, and I won't think about how close it is, and I would just totally burn myself. It's so bad. It's so bad. So that's why I can't cook anymore, except for in the Instapot, because it's not okay anymore. And
They say clumsiness is a symptom of HD. Would you say that you're clumsy?
so clumsy, like it's bad. I was clumsy before, but now it's like extra bad. Like I spill everything, I drop everything, like it's a mess. Like, and I fall and I get tripped up, and it's bad. Like every other day, like I have like a towel sitting next to my chair so I can clean up my spills, because it's so bad. I'm so clumsy. It's so bad.
They also say that people think that, well, I think, and my best friend with HD think that HD might have had, something to do with it prior, before she was diagnosed, like even as a kid, because you're born with HD. So she always had like behavioral issues and things like that. Would you think that before your onset that it had something to do with some of your problems in life? Or do you think that whenever you got diagnosed is when you start seeing symptoms?
I definitely, looking back, I think I had symptoms before, because I had a DUI like before I stopped driving, like a couple years, and I was not even drunk. Like I had one drink, and it wasn't even that strong of it. It was like a margarita or something, and I drove home, and they were like, "Here's swearing over there, you're drunk," and they took me and gave me a DUI. Seriously, and I was not even drunk, and I told them. They even did that freaking blood test, or that breathalyzer or whatever, and they're like, "Oh, well, you haven't had that much, but you're still acting drunk, so we're still gonna keep you until your wife can get here." Blah 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 blah. So my wife freaked out. She was like, "I've been calling you." I was like, "The officer took my phone." It was like, I don't know. It was stupid. It made me
Taylor got a
so,
DUI too. So I think that might
really?
be a common thing. Yeah.
I think so. Cause I mean, I had one drink. I know I was not that drunk. I was definitely not drunk. And I definitely failed that little test where you had to walk in a straight line. It's like even before I was diagnosed or had symptoms, I couldn't walk a straight line because my feet go, like, I walk like a penguin. So my feet go outwards. So there's no way I could walk a straight line, period. So it made me
Where are you
so mad.
from, Kyrstina? You want to tell
Huh?
everybody where you're from?
Oh yeah, I'm from Oklahoma. I live in Yukon, little tiny
Taylor's
town.
from Louisville, and so when she got her DUI, they made her walk the line and stuff. But she said she had Huntington's disease, and well, this is another time she almost got a DUI. She's got arrested for a DUI, but this is another time. When she said she had Huntington's disease, they let her go.
I told them that. I said, it's not my fault. I even have a freaking bracelet, like a medical bracelet that says I got Huntington's on it, and it says like my wife's name on the back of it and stuff like that. And I go, look, I have Huntington's disease. And they were like, well, it doesn't matter. I don't believe you. Like, they're just making up excuses. And I'm like, I'm not.
They must not be educated enough.
They're not. There's like, it's a small town, and they're very like, they are very high on their horses. They think that they just rule the town and everybody's under their little thumb, and it's stupid. They'll pull you over for anything. Yeah, that's stupid.
And so does your brother live with you?
No, he lives with my mom and my other brother. So my mom didn't adopt a kid, but she kind of took him in because it was my brother's best friend from like middle school. And his mom was like a super crazy person and like doing drugs. And like literally, I was a teenager when I met her, and I went to go pick up AK, and literally she was in the car with me, and she goes, will you buy me some drugs? Will you stop at the store and buy me some drugs? And I'm like, no, I am a teenager, and you're not gonna ask me to buy you drugs. I don't even know what drugs are at that point. I'm like, what the heck are you talking about? It was so crazy. And then she was just like a mess. She was a mess. Like, she was not stable, and so she could not raise him. And so, and he had an older sister, but she was moved out in a different state at that time. So she even said that we could take him and stuff like that. It wasn't legal, but so he's lived with us ever since. And he definitely takes care of Christopher now, like, because my mom works all the time. She works, but she works at home. So it definitely helps take care of him. He was like, he wakes me up at 2 o'clock in the morning asking to open a Dr. Pepper, and I'll still do it. I was like, that's so cute. It's so sweet. But yeah, he's a good guy.
And what about your wife? What did she do when she found out you had Huntington's disease? And today, how is it like?
So she definitely was okay. She said she knew I had Huntington's disease before I ever went tested, because she saw the symptoms and stuff like that. And like, she saw signs and stuff. So she definitely knew already about the Huntington's. She assumed. So, but I did not think I had it. I was like, there's no way. Like, my brother's got it. Like, I don't think I have it too. Like, I just was totally blindsided when they said I had it. Um, but she was okay with it. She definitely was like, oh, I said to death do us part, like, I mean it. Like, I definitely will take care of you. Like, I'll do whatever I can. Like, I don't want you to live in a nursing home, stuff like that. Like, she's like, I will do whatever I can to help you through this. And so today it's pretty good. She works overnights now so that so that somebody's always home with me. So like, she'll be at home with me during the day, and Michael will be home with me at night and stuff. So I don't like it because I don't get to see her very much. But I mean, I do, but I wish it was more, but it's okay. I get it. I appreciate her thinking about me and stuff like that. It feels nice.
And when you got tested, did you get genetic counseling?
Definitely did not.
And how'd that
They
go when you found out?
they did not know that. I did not know that was a thing back then. Like, now I know, but like, I didn't really know anything about Huntington's because my mom never talked about it. My dad never talked about it. My grandpa was always like, yeah, whatever, Huntington's. I asked him about it and stuff. He really didn't talk about it. He was like, only said was that my dad was in some trials in Arkansas or something like that. And my dad really liked to go, like, once a year they had like a convention in Oklahoma, and my dad would like to go and see all the people with Huntington's, but that was it. So we really didn't know about Huntington, so I had no idea there was genetic counseling or anything. So we definitely, it was like so bad. It was so awful and hard. Like, I definitely for at least like 2 years was not okay. Like I was so depressed and so not like I just felt like my life was over, you know. I was like, so this is it. Like there's nowhere I could really go from here. And I was in college, going to college for for a teacher. I was on my bachelor's for a teacher. I wanted to be a teacher and stuff. And so I ended up working at a daycare. I was working at a daycare whenever I was going to school and stuff, so I could have some experience and stuff like that. And I told my boss at the time, you know, and I was like, so I have Huntington's, and I was telling her about everything that was gonna happen and stuff like that. She was like, and I also had super severe restless leg syndrome. And so it's so bad that like I cannot walk for very long periods of time. My legs ache like all day, all night. Like it's not just at night. So like at that point, like working 8 hours a day, like my legs were killing me. Like I would seriously start crying in the classroom. And when it was my Huntington's, like I had 2-year-olds and they were always on the ground and stuff like that. So I'd always trip over them and stuff like that. And she's like, so we can do it like 4 hours a day for a while until you feel like you can't do it. So we did that, and then we did 2 hours until I just could not do it anymore. I couldn't drive. Like it was just getting scary driving and stuff like that. Like Michael was like, Mom, will you please stop driving? He was like, it scares me. And I was like, yes, I will. I'm done. I'm not gonna risk my son's life. I'm not gonna risk my life. It's not worth it anymore. Like, and I'm much happier staying at home now than I used to be. Because I used to be such an active person. Like, I would go everywhere. I drove all the time, Texas, go see my aunt and cousin. Like, I used to go everywhere, road trip, all kinds of stuff. I used to drive everywhere, and not driving and staying in the house all day was so hard for like the first like year. Like, it was super difficult, and I did not like it. And then after that though, like it started like after a year or so, like I feel better. I still have my friends, stuff like that. They still come over, we still hang out, and I've got my wife and my son all, and I have like a zoo. I've got like 3 cats and a dog and 3 leopard geckos and a hamster. And they're my babies. They're my babies during the day. So I have plenty of stuff to do, crochet and color and play my games and read. So it's always fun. I always have something to do.
Are you on disability?
I am. Yes.
That's
That
good.
was not that hard. Everybody said it was so hard to get on and stuff like that, but on the first time we went and got a lawyer because they said that it would be better to get a lawyer and stuff like that. I honestly did not think I was bad enough to get disability. Like I was like, there's no way I'm gonna get it. Like there's no way. I did not think it was bad enough. And then literally the first time they sent me into a doctor to go get tested and stuff like that. I walked in, I barely was doing anything wrong. Like I know I wasn't like moving that much, I wasn't doing much. And he was like, so you just got your Korea now? And I was like, yeah. And I was telling him about my illnesses, like my leg, restless leg syndrome, Huntington's, and then I have endometriosis also. He was like, oh my gosh, you poor girl. And I don't know if that's what it was, like 3 of them. But he was like, okay, so you definitely should not be working or driving. You should definitely be staying at home. Like, he was like, if it's up to me, like, you'll definitely get it. And I was like, okay, cool. I don't know if it was just I had to get a doctor or what, but, like a couple months later, they sent the thing that I got it. The Medicare was the hardest part because you have to wait 2 years before you get it, and that sucks because you're constantly going to the doctor and stuff like that. You have to spend all this money paying for stuff out of pocket, or using. My wife has insurance on me too, but I mean it only covers so much of it, so it definitely was hard for a while until I got I just got the Medicaid like in November. I was so happy.
Yeah, Medicaid's a good thing.
Yes, it is. That's my favorite. That's
Yeah.
my favorite part.
I'm glad you have Medicaid and you have disability and it wasn't that hard for you.
Yes, I know. Same. It's a very good thing.
And so for today, what do you do to fight back for Huntington's disease? What do you do to cope, or do you have any hobbies? I know you crochet.
I crochet. I color. And I'm going to start a podcast. And
Yeah, you are.
I am. And I think that would be good. It would help me get everything out that I'm dealing with and going through and stuff like that. I feel like it would be, and it's a good advocacy for Huntington's because there's not a
Yes.
lot out there.
You also are a moderator for Hope for Huntington's Disease. Woo, woo.
I am. Yay.
Then we got Kyrstina here.
Me.
I appreciate you coming.
Yeah, that was so much fun.
It was. You want to say anything else or any advice or anything before we shut it off?
Just keep going, like no matter what, like even if you have your bad days and stuff like that, like you deal with your bad day, and then you always think at the end of the night, always go to bed with a positive mind so that you feel better in the next day.
Thank you, Kyrstina. Well, that's all for today. Thank you, Kyrstina, for joining us, and thank you for sharing your story.
Yes,
HD sucks.
it does. HD sucks.
Bye.
Bye.